Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hey, we're going to be doing some backsplash here, and we are going to go all the way past the sink to the stove, and then there's a small spot on the other side of the stove. We're going to be using this tile. I'm not going to show you guys the name brand of the tile because I don't want anyone saying that somebody's paying me to do this. We use our own money for this in our own time. So, and another thing, I'm not a professional at this, but I'm sure anyone can do this if they put their mind to it. Just take your time, think things through, and I will try to show you guys what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and maybe you guys might want to do this in the future to your home instead of paying someone thousands of dollars to do it. If you would, and if you like the video, please click like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to get some measurements going here because my area here between the backsplash to the bottom of the cabinet is a little bit smaller than the tile. And let me see if I can hold this up here. If you see these marks right here, it's 10 3/8 of an inch, and that's leaving 1/8 of an inch on the bottom and top, so everything is uniform. My gaps will be uniform all the way across. So let me get some of these marked out. I'll move the camera out into the garage where I'm cutting the tile. And guys, when you cut this tile, make sure you wear a mask or something to help protect your lungs, because some of this can be harmful. And I was also reading on the box where it says some of this is harmful if you breathe in too much of it. So read the boxes, make sure you know what you're cutting into, and if you need to wear any kind of safety gear, which I wear glasses already to begin with, so between my glasses and my mask I should be okay. Alright, let me get to measuring this and we'll get started. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe. I am going to be using a marker because I tried to use a pencil, and I don't know if you can see, if I can get this up to that camera, these marks right here. I tried to use pencil and it just wouldn't draw me a line, so I'm going to have to use a marker to actually get this marked. And let me see, I'm going to have to jump in front of the camera here. I'm just going to do it like this real quick and mark it. The tile's so slick that I couldn't get a pencil to even hardly leave a line. And when I'm cutting it, I'm going to need to be able to see that, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fine dust flying around everywhere. So you can see the line now. Let me see if I can get this more in focus there. There we go. So you can see that line nice and clear. I'm going to go get set up in the garage so we can cut this. I don't have a wet saw or anything, but I do have a saw that cuts masonry. It's a small handheld, so it's going to be a little dusty, but I didn't want to go out and spend, $100, $200 just for a wet saw to do this small little job that we have. If I got into tiling and doing more tiling and tiling the bathroom, doing this, and I'd just go get me a wet saw. But for a small project like this, I'm going to try to make my masonry saw do the same job. Alright, I'm going to go get set up. Well, we're getting close here. Now, what I did was I put 2 old 2x6s I had laying around, some scrap wood, down on this sawhorse here, so that when I'm cutting, I can cut all the way through the tile, and I can cut into the wood and it won't hurt anything because, well, it's garbage wood. But this was the only solution I can come up with, doing this where I didn't have to be down on my hands and knees because it's pretty painful for me to get down low anymore with my bad back, leg, and neck and shoulders. So I got to try to find easy ways to get things accomplished. I can't just rush into it like I used to when I was younger. But let me get this set up, get my mask on, and as you see, here's my mask. There's no names on it, so nobody can see, what name brand. Like I said, nobody is paying me to do this. I'm just doing it so you guys can see how certain things are done, and different things that I do you might be interested in doing, and just give somebody something to watch and maybe learn something. I'm 55 years old and I learn stuff every day. I learn new stuff every day. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let me get this set up and I'll show you, some of this cutting, how it goes, and, I mean, it's kind of tedious sitting watching somebody just cut through tile because it's a slow process. You can't just race through it, but I'll show you some of the cutting. I won't put you through the torture of watching all the cutting though. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, it's going to be a little hard to hear me with the mask on, but you'll get the idea. Alright, here we go. Okay, let's see what we got here. There it is. Nice smooth cut. Okay, I gotta move. Let me get this mask off. And I have to move the camera back inside, and then we'll go place this and see how it fits. Okay? Guys, you know what I forgot to do? I went in there to, set that in place. And I forgot, if you see on the right-hand side where those lines are, right here, I have to do that. I have to cut that off. So I start with a flat surface on the right-hand side so I have a nice, clean, flat line. Those other ones I'll save in case I need it going around a corner or something. I'll save those and make sure I have them on hand if needed. Okay, I'm going to get my mask back on, get those cut off, and then I'll move the camera inside and let you guys see the first piece, how it was cut and put in. Here we go. Okay, you guys see this? I'm going to show you why that happened. It's a piece I don't have to worry about, but let me show you why it happened. Do you see this board? It wasn't flat with the other one, so this one took the vibration and wound up breaking as I was cutting. So if I can't keep that board down, I'm going to have to find me two different boards that maybe mate better together to where I don't wind up with small broken pieces like that. So what I will do, I will use this one as a rub stone now to where I can rub the edges and make sure they're nice and smooth and soft. Okay, I'm gonna get the camera moved and get us inside so you guys can see the first one. Okay everyone, I have my assistant holding that in place just to kind of show you. The pieces, the small pieces I cut off, I'm gonna use it as a border going down to the backsplash of the countertop. But this will give you an idea. I mean, she's just trying to hold it there, but it kind of give you an idea of what we're doing and what we're going after. Okay, we're gonna get going and get some more cuts done, and I got to cut around that outlet now, right there by her left hand. So that's gonna be a tough one. All right, guys, I'm just taking this sanding block right here, and I'm just gonna rough this paint up just a little bit, and then I'll wipe it clean just to make sure that it's got a clean surface. But I wanted it to have a little bit of a rough surface to kind of hook to. So I'm just going to run this gently because I don't want to hit my backsplash on my countertop. I'm using the 80 grit side of this little sanding pad. And I'm just going to make sure I get it roughed up. And like I said, guys, I'm not a professional at this, never claimed to be, but I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I don't like to rely on other people to do my work, to fix my home, or to remodel my home. If it comes to something that I am just totally uncomfortable with doing, because of like electricity or something like that, then I'll hire somebody, because there's no sense in getting hurt to try to save a dollar, okay? But if it's something simple like this, I don't see why anybody who buys a home can't just take a few minutes, watch a video, and figure it out. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to figure it out on the way, give you guys an idea on how this is done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to get my mask on, get that top piece cut off so I can get a more accurate idea on my outlet opening. I just figured it'd be easier this way than another way, so I'll try it this way first. If it don't work, I'll know for the second outlet, right? Here we go. I don't know if I'm going to be in the way of the camera, but we'll find out. Well, you see that last tile. It looks a little rough. Cutting it that direction didn't seem to do it too well. I might be pushing a little too hard on it. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to have to fix that. I can't leave that like that. Let me take a quick look here and see what I can do here. See if we can't take one of these pieces down here and rub that edge a little smoother. I mean, it's going to be up against the cabinet anyway with mortar. So we'll see. Let me run this in. I guess I should get the camera in there so you guys see what's going on too. Okay guys, I went out to the workshop and got my tile clippers. See if I can get that locked in there. I'm just going to clean up this edge because there's a little bit of bulge right here in this tile. So I'm just going to snip it. There. Now it's to cut out the outlet. And that I'll have to use, I'm gonna have to get it started with my saw is the only way I can think of it. I mean, like I said, I don't do this professionally, so I don't have all the tools that are needed to do it. But we're gonna make do. It's what we try to do around here. You find a way to make the project come together. And so let me get my mask on and get this cleaned off and set and ready to cut. Make sure that board stays down. I got to keep my eye on that board. Okay. Alright, let me get my mask on. I'll be right back. Okay guys, now like I said, I made this hole, I cut this a little smaller than the box in case there was damage because I knew I could clean it up with the clippers. But what I'm doing here, if you notice here, check this out. Because it's already got the line cut in it, I'll have just a little bit of cleanup to do and then I could just cut this out of there. Okay guys, I am, as you see, I'm cutting this out of the back here. See this? I mean, this is probably, tilers out there are probably laughing because, you know, this isn't the way they do it because they got all the tools they need to do it. But I got that out. Now all I have to do is clean it up with my trimmers. And like I said, I made the hole a little smaller so that I can clean up the edges and still make it look good. And don't forget, I mean, if the edges are going to be a little rough looking, it doesn't matter. It's going to be behind the outlet cover, you know. Matter of fact, I may not have to do all that trimming. So let me run in and try this. Guys, I just realized that I got that up and got the outlet put back in the wall because I had to kill the power and pull the outlet out so that I could get the tile up in there and then put the outlet back and screw it back in. And I realized that the camera was not recording, so I'm sorry. But you saw me cutting it out in the workshop or out in the garage. And so far this is what we got. So now I'm getting ready to measure out this piece here by the window and get it cut. And I found out this stuff here, it's pretty soft. Once you get away from the polished end, the back side of it, it's pretty soft, so you got to really be delicate with it because I noticed when I was cutting the outlet hole, it actually cracked one of the tiles that were real close to the opening of the outlet hole. But an outlet cover or this plug that we use for all of our stuff because we put our phone here and the charger for the dog's collar. But it covers it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, it was behind there anyway. But let me get this measured out, and we'll go from there. I got a tile sitting there ready to go, so I just got to get a bunch of measurements and get it marked out. Okay, guys, because I can't get full pieces, I'm cutting little squares off, and I'm setting them here. Oop, I knocked that one down some. I'm setting them singles down below here, and I'm cutting with my snips the little narrow pieces right here. So just so you guys see what I'm doing. And my helper is going to be vacuuming up the countertop to get the abrasives off the top. So I'll get back to you in a minute. Well, here we are. We got this side here done. We're working across there with single pieces. And now I got to make everything line up over there on the going around the corner of the window. And then straight shot back to the corner. We won't have any more hard cuts until we get to that outlet over by the stove. So now it's just figuring out this corner going around the window. Guys, I got a little further. Kind of got interrupted. Got a little something going on. So I had to stop. But I'm getting back at this. I'm going to see what I can get done before more phone calls come in. And as you see, phone's ringing. So I'll have to get back to the video in a minute, guys. Well, I got that done by the sink all the way to the corner. Now I'm getting ready to go around the corner to the stove. And I'll probably stop right before that outlet because I'm getting pretty tired. Got around the window there, and I'm going to stop and take a dinner break, but after dinner I'm going to finish running to the corner and then over here to the stove, right there where that outlet is. And I'm going to see how long it takes me to do that cut, because I found out when I cut this stuff, it's kind of crumbly. When I brought it in, I even had little crumbly pieces falling off it. I'm hoping that now with the mortar on the back and it's stuck to the wall, that it's going to adhere and be fine. But we'll find out. I know doing this outlet over here was a bear because it was so crumbly. Not even brittle. It was just crumbly, like a bad dried out biscuit. So we'll see what happens. If worst come to worst, I'll call the manufacturer. Maybe I got a hold of a bad box. All right, gonna go eat dinner. See you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, I got around the window there. I'm going to stop for a dinner break, and then I'm going to come back and finish all the way up to the stove. I think I might have enough time to go out to finish the last spot over there behind the refrigerator. So depends on how long it takes me to do that cut around the outlet, because I found that outlet there, because I found that with this tile, it is so, how can I say it, crumbly, that when you start cutting it, it kind of wants to crumble. Even as after you cut it and you bring it in and you're going to place it, it just feels kind of crumbly. So we're going to see how this tile holds up. I would hope that it being to the wall and with the mortar, I'm hoping it'll hold up and be just fine. But what I was finding when I was cutting it and carrying it in, just carrying it in after cutting it, it was kind of crumbly. So I don't know, I might make a call to the manufacturer and find out if this is normal or did I get a hold of a bad box. Alright guys, we started some of the grouting. I'm just trying to get this side done so we can make this side of the counter usable, and thought I'd show you. You know, you just take your grout, you want to make sure you push it into the creases, your seams, so that, and I mean really push it in there, because you don't want any air voids, you don't want any of that. So you just keep working it in, like so. If I can get any on here.
They should have given you something a little bit smaller to put it on with.
Well, by the way, guys, this is a kit that I have, and I'll show you the kit at the end Comes in a little bucket.
Had it for years.
I've had this one for years, but when I was in the store the other day, I noticed they still had them. So, but yeah, what we're doing here, we're filling all the seams. Then we're going to give it time to dry, and I think it's about 25 minutes or so for it to set up. And then we're going to take a wet sponge over it to clean off the face of the tiles, and it will leave the mortar joints alone because you'll be floating across the top. And all I'm doing is I'm trying to put some on the face of the tool just so I can work it, and try not to pick up too much at once because it'll want to just fall off, and that's why my helper is here to help catch it, to keep it off. And by the way, guys, I know I mentioned her in videos before when we were out doing the sidewalls of my trailer. My helper is my better half, my wife, and yeah, she's ornery just like other wives, but she's a good one. She's a keeper. She knows how to cook good, and you could tell that if you ever looked at my belly. And I've been fighting to lose weight, and that's hard to do with a good cook, you know. But this area around this window, most of that is covered by trim, but I wanted it in there anyway. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this time to set up, and I'm going to just take my finger with some of this loose stuff and just get down in there on that edge, okay? Okay, well, my wife isn't going to do it for me. But yeah, this way when I go to wipe everything up, it's sealed. And I don't know if you guys recall, but these countertops, they're in a previous video that I posted that I made for her. And she seems to like them.
They're beautiful.
So, okay guys, I'm going to kind of get this little area done and cleaned up. But you get the gist of it. You force it in. Give it about 25 minutes or so, and take a damp sponge and wipe off the excess, okay? All right, talk to you in a little bit. Oh, I got it completed today. It's all installed. It's all mortared. I mean, everything is completely done now.